tea. We are so due for cleaning. We got dust layers. Dust bunnies, as they call them. As they call them. As they crawl them out in the night.
Okay. Red dot. Red dot. Red dot. Red dot. Everybody looks wonderful. Uh-oh. The screen for the tea.
Oh, no.
Our tea screen.
We can't have gritty tea. I do feel a little California that we don't use plastic tea bags anymore. But it's fine.
In a bad way?
No, just
some California things aren't
something I
bad.
noticed. Yeah. It's a little it's a little California of us.
Yeah, but in the best way. I don't know.
I'm not mad.
Yeah.
Not wanting to put plastic in your body. I'm here for that.
Yeah, not like throwing away something every time you drink tea. You know, like every cup of tea creates like garbage. Like that's kind of silly.
It doesn't have to be that way.
But anyway, we don't need to talk about why we're so great. We're saving the world.
We'd start with that. Just a quick little.
We're
You're
heroes.
so great. I'm so great.
You know, it wasn't so great.
What?
Dune 2. Let's start there.
Wow, you're just gonna trap me. You're
Garbage.
gonna trap me on the mic.
Worse than Beyonce. No, not worse than Beyonce, but kind of a letdown, right?
I felt something was missing. Like it just, it's not fair. I know it's a good movie, but yeah, it does feel a little like lackluster.
It was good, not great.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to love it, and and we rewatched Dune 1. Well, I rewatched it because you had never seen it recently.
Yeah.
And I was not particularly into that, watching it again.
I actually like the first one better.
I don't know. I want to love them.
Yeah, what was it? Like we were a little lost. Like it's a little confusing. And not like, confusing. Okay, I can connect two and two together. I get it. Oh, okay. They didn't have to show them getting from A to B. Like we know they're here now and we can kind of fill in the gaps. But yeah, there were just certain things where it's like, suddenly this is going on. Suddenly it's this. Like
this is when all
this lady is like now some kind of reverend mother or whatever. Like that was kind of out of nowhere. Like they're gonna make you like a god suddenly. I don't know.
This is when people sound off in the comments about like you should read the books, right? I feel like sometimes when there's a movie based off of books, it's just a hard thing because people always read it and then they like the book better, or they don't think the book's fully, like they don't think they honor the book, or they strayed away too much. Like and then in this case, I feel like it was more like maybe they thought we knew more than we do about these worlds and about the mother saints and all the people, like all the characters. It was hard.
But we don't. Like this is your
saints,
job when I don't remember.
I don't know.
But when you
Mother
adapt a movie or a book into a movie, like you shouldn't have to read the book to get the movie.
No, of course not.
But yeah, there were certain things where I was like, okay, I bet this is like something's up here.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of rich content, like context that the book would provide that we don't have.
Let's hope.
That would make it more interesting.
Did you feel like it was a bit overhyped? And this is why we had more of an adverse reaction to it.
Perhaps.
Like I heard a thing that like as soon as someone tells you like this is going to be a great movie, you immediately they've lessened your experience.
I was very excited for it. I don't necessarily feel like I know very often when like a new movie's coming out. It does get a lot of attention and
Right. So does
The
that
press,
kind
I
of
was noticing the press tour. Like I was hyped about this movie for sure.
so does that make it more disappointing when it's just okay? Would
Yeah.
we be complaining, or had everyone said this is a terrible movie, we might be saying it's
I'd
actually
be-
pretty good.
I'd be like loyalist.
Right. We'd be like fighting
that
for
you've got to see it. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I did show up at work with critiques, with criticism of just like,
Yeah. I mean, that's what I thought. It was like, it's cool. It's
don't
fine.
know.
Wasn't that bad. Like this
love
Timothy Chalamet, he's so good sometimes, but then like when he tries to like yell, it's like, nobody's buying that. He's like, you need to listen to me. It's like, you've never yelled at anybody. It doesn't seem like this feels very unnatural.
that's kind of what Ben was saying, who's been on our podcast.
Ah,
I was bringing
Ben
that to him.
Boquist.
Yes, that's right.
Episode 75. No, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, and he was like, he just has, I think it was, he said he has a hard time believing him in his vulnerable moments. I think is what he
Huh.
said.
Like the yelling or the or other stuff.
I don't know. I'll have to, I don't know.
Huh.
Gotta get him back here. We'll invite
All right.
him back. Make
Dune
another
2,
crepe cake.
Piece of shit. Other piece of shit. I mean, no, good, not
Jeez.
great.
Oh,
I'm just
don't
joking.
clip that.
But One Love, this Bob Marley movie we watched.
But yeah, what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
So meh.
Total meh. I mean,
I
certain
enjoyed
parts
that.
were really cool. The beginning, the middle of the movie gets interesting when you see like his process of writing a song, coming with the
Mm-hmm.
band. They're all kind of doing the song. You know, it gets more like you're more like in it. But the beginning and the end were just kind of like lame. And the movie, like, it's so bizarre. It sometimes just goes into this like slow-mo cinematic moment where really cheesy music comes in, and it's like supposed to be like inspiring music, but it's like music you would download from like a free music website for a YouTube video or something. Like check it out, we traveled to New Zealand and it was beautiful, and it's like suddenly this really cheesy music. Like it's a Bob Marley movie made by his family. It's a, like in the beginning they say like Tough Gong Productions or something, so like his family made it. They have full access to all of Bob Marley's music catalog. Like, give me an original score that's doing versions of Bob Marley songs, or like, give me way more musically. But it just, the story just kind of felt like a montage at certain times, like in a corny, not good way. A montage isn't necessarily bad, but kind of a letdown. And the actor, I never bought him. I never believed him to be Bob Marley for a second.
I would say it didn't bother me as much as it bothered you.
Piece of shit.
I
I'm just kidding.
also hear that I would have wanted the music making parts were my favorite as well, so I would have wanted more of that. And yeah, what do you mean? You said piecing together a score?
Well, like, you know, have like a composer compose like a symphonic score, but using like Bob Marley's songs. So, you know, like
sure.
kind of play like No Woman, No Cry, but with an orchestra type of shit. Or even some deeper cuts.
Yeah, like make new masters of these songs.
Exactly.
Or like, where's the unreleased tracks?
Unreleased tracks.
You know?
And
I mean,
there's...
I'm sure he was a guy that liked to jam. He didn't record everything, but like,
No, there's
is
a
there
lot of
anything
like
else?
deep cuts though of Bob Marley songs.
And like, what are the other versions, you know?
Yeah.
Let's put it all out there.
Just like for the music to be the thing that I was like, oh wow, this is corny, shitty music in a Bob Marley
a
movie.
little
Like one of the
PG.
greatest songwriters of all time, Bob Marley, and you're giving me this shit. It was really.
It also didn't really like, I don't know, show him in all his dimensions. You know, it was just a little.
Well, sure. I mean, it
Like
was just
where were his multiple women? Like they
Right.
talked about it one time,
mention.
one mention of like, I'm raising your kids from other women. Like one line acknowledging kids from other people, but like, I don't know. And then you were talking about how you also wanted to know where the other two guys.
Well, so I did
were.
look into that.
And it,
Like Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer,
Those
get
guys.
pretty much no mention in the movie. There's just like a throwback scene, like, you know, when they're in a flashback, and like clearly that's supposed to be Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer, but like they have no
and these
real acknowledgement.
were his bandmates.
These were like at the beginning,
The
the
trio.
original Wailers was a trio, the three of them. Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer wrote a lot of like Bob Marley's famous songs. I don't know which ones, but Like they were a team, you know? But in defense of the movie, at the point the movie starts, those two had already quit the band.
Sure, but that's my point, is that like you want to know how the band starts and then how it falls apart and then what happens next. Like you want to know the saga of this man and all the journey he like went through, and I feel like it just really kind of skimmed the surface and didn't ever actually like dive very deep in any of it.
It was like another issue because his family made it. Like they were kind of like, this is our dad, the hero, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Like
it was
this
generic,
like,
you know?
Yeah.
They just did like a generic impression of him instead of like any real, truly emotionally gripping.
Well, and there was like, yeah, like just that one line, or like showing like he was like kind of a dick one time in the movie, basically. The rest of it, he's like, yeah, all good. But like, there was no real depth to the character because they were trying so hard to make him just this like saint, like this larger than life guy, like show me the real guy. But also, so with the actor playing Bob Marley, clearly Bob Marley's kids must suck at acting because they look exactly like him. They sound like him. Like this is like that I would have bought, you know, seeing them, but they must not be great actors.
Or they are not interested in acting in their dad's footsteps.
But they made the movie. So you're making the movie. The discussion doesn't happen like, hey, Steven, you want to play him? Like like Bob Marley's grandson can play him at 18. His like
that would be
young, you know, like you have multiple ages, you have everything.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be like a really beautiful.
Would have been kind of cool. And like I'd have been like, oh wow, it's like I'm really watching Bob Marley. I might have been able to like be in it more. But this guy, I don't know that he did a bad job. I just didn't buy it.
I don't think he did a bad job, but yeah.
It's a really hard role. Like you're playing, it's like playing Michael Jordan. You know, it's like you can't do it. Yeah. Who could play Michael Jordan? You'd be like, I bought it. I thought he was.
Exactly.
First, like my brain forgot it's not him. It just wouldn't happen. But like Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles, like
sometimes it works, but
Fox.
I think most of the time, I mean, it's a slippery slope, like imitating somebody else. You know?
Yeah.
The more you know about that person they're imitating, the harder I feel like you're gonna critique it.
Right. Cillian Murphy had it so easy. Like nobody even knows shit about Oppenheimer's like mannerisms.
Nobody cares like how close of a match he is, or exactly. But then you do really Elvis, and it's like, oh, everybody's gonna rip you to shred.
Yeah, but Homeboy did okay.
He did okay
in Elvis.
He did all right.
I wasn't the whole time
he's
just
everywhere
thinking,
lately.
He's killing it.
But we keep laughing at him because he just like has a deeply different voice every time.
Oh, but so in Dune 2, he's a guy, he's famous for his like cool, voice. And in Dune 2, he does like a Spanish accent or something.
I wasn't hearing Spanish accent.
It was a weird, he's like, we have to get the girl.
He did not
he had this like weird accent.
I don't think that's what happened.
I want to get all the spice.
Not how I'm remembering
and they're like, it was something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Like it changed.
We'll
it was inconsistent.
Hate it again.
No, you're my brother. You'll ruin everything. He tried to be like Russian, maybe, or something.
Inconsistent. That's another no. You don't. It's hard when you do like an accent or an impersonation to keep staying like in that lane the whole time and not slip in and out.
Right. Sometimes it's there. Sometimes it's not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Accents are really hard. Like that's why you have like a vocal coach if you're gonna do an accent in a movie, because like they'll train you to do it, but they'll also be with you on set to make sure it stays tuned. You know.
I forget what exactly the game was, but for Schitt's Creek, Moira, when she was like losing her personality and like all of her Moira-isms, which are so great. I love that character so much. John Levy would like do something to like and have her, I think, say this one line back and like reset, which I thought was interesting because she's just so over the top, that character, that like I think you naturally are just gonna peel back each time you say anything go back to like a normal speech pattern, but she does not have a normal speech pattern. And I love it too because her character is always talking about things that you think are made up, and then you find out like she actually has just this incredible vocabulary and says words that seem fake but they're real.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is nonsense, but every once in a while it's like a deep cut. She's just super smart. I forget her name. What's that actress's name?
Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, sure. That's the one. Catherine O'Hara. She's funny.
She's really funny.
Funny lady.
Yeah,
It's
like-
also amazing in the Home Alone. Like she was probably our age, but you look at her in Home Alone and she's, you know, the stylist, like her hair, her clothes, it makes her look like she was, you know, 40 years old, 50, 45 years old. Like she just, I feel like the age, the women age differently now. Like with
People.
hairstyles.
Like, does this,
People
will this
too.
go away? Or is
Men.
this something that every generation will experience? Because, yeah, like we're rewatching Seinfeld right now.
Yeah.
And we're like, how old are they supposed to be? And we looked it up. They're like in their 30s, you know, like they're our age. So, like, there's George Costanza, 35 years old, you know, working for the Yankees, whatever. And, like, my brain just can't accept that I'm looking at someone who's my age. Like, did other generations deal with that? And like, are we, and will the next generation, like, is this just something that happens? Or is it like the drastic difference? Like, what is it going to happen even more? You know, because the change from each generation will be
It's got a plateau.
more.
I think it's not so much related with time. I think it's related with like changes in how women style their hair, how they do their makeup, the products, the beauty products that are around. It's not just women, but you know, there's all sorts of things on the market now that weren't before in terms of beauty. Like there's so many things that people do differently than they did in the 90s. Shapewear, for example,
Well, yeah.
or
Sure,
you know
sure.
what I mean?
No, of
Like there's
course.
all sorts of
But
things.
that'll always happen. Like,
Yeah.
if we played 35-year-olds right now in a TV show, someone in 30 years watching it would be like, oh my God, they're 35? Like, they
You
seem
don't
so
know
much
that.
older.
You don't know that. They might say they look really young. Looking at you and me.
Yeah, I wonder. I do wonder.
You at
know?
least.
Wait, you look young. You don't think you look young?
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
look like a kid kind of. I look maybe a little
You got
too
a young vibe about you.
little baby face boy. What else is going on?
I don't
Coachella.
Oh, what do you want to talk about Coachella?
I don't know.
What do you want to say? We haven't watched any of them.
What are you gonna
What
say
are you
about
possibly
Coachella?
going to say? The festival wear has changed a lot.
Has it?
No, I don't know.
Oh, just
I really can't speak to that.
Yeah, I
I've
guess
seen
I don't
some
know anything
pictures
about
online,
Coachella.
but
I don't know. I was just like, what's
it's
happening?
interesting because it used to be sort of like top tier festival, I would say. And I think they still have tickets available for a weekend too, which is kind of unheard of.
Sure.
So it's not as like epic and sought after, at least this year, but I think that's kind of the trend.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think it still
interesting.
has like the highest, like the best headliners, like the toughest gets, you know? But
Hmm. I mean,
just
yeah, they got No Doubt
the
back together.
the excitement is kind of worn off. Going to
Yeah.
Coachella's kind of played out. It's like, you know, it's like being a fan of Dave Matthews Band in 2012. Like, it's just not that cool anymore for some reason. The music hasn't changed. It's the same band. They're great, but it just somehow just wasn't cool anymore.
It's true. I was there for that.
Dave Matthews Band is great, by the way. I'll say it publicly. That's a great band.
They're a great band.
Like, they have their own sound, their own style.
Yeah.
Their execution is flawless. They're great. Very original. Good songs.
Never seen any act more than I've seen them.
How many times have you seen them?
Probably 4 or 5, I would guess. Not that many, but like a lot. I don't think I've seen many acts twice, you know?
There you go. 2 gets it done.
2 gets it done.
Well, if you've seen them twice, then you've seen them the most of any other band.
Oh, I see. 2 would get it done.
2 would
and
get it done.
I'm up to probably 5.
Okay.
So
There you go.
how about that?
What else has been going on?
Oh, geez.
This
Yes,
week.
me, huh? Oh, exciting development Friday. We have a faculty and staff basketball game versus the 6th grade class. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's going to be cool.
Are you excited about that?
I'm a little excited, I
Like,
guess.
are you? Well, I mean, it's good to be excited about it. Like, are you nervous about it at all?
No, I'm not very nervous.
Good.
Very nervous. Just kidding.
Well, I just know you're like story of the cable game.
No, I'm
Like
you
pressure
know,
of like,
Yeah, I'm not an 11-year-old girl anymore. So
there's growth here.
I'm feeling fine to go play in front of the whole school and all the parents. Doesn't make me as nervous as it once would have.
nice, good.
Yeah.
Are you starting?
I am starting. I am going to start. So the teachers will do like 5-minute stints, right? I guess we'll play. I don't know if we'll do quarters. Quarter system seems to make sense. And we'll have a little couple students and one teacher's keeping score. We'll have a ref and all these people that are cheering us on, and then everybody gets really into it. Practice one of our school songs. Thank you. Yeah, we practice the school song, so everyone will be like cheering and singing. Be cute.
Wow.
And today we practiced. We did like a little pickup practice after after school today. I scored like 4 buckets.
4 buckets?
That's right.
Hell yeah. Any 3-pointers in there?
No.
That's okay though. A bucket's a bucket.
Yeah, I was only like shooting really close to the basket.
Smart. Get inside.
I'm like not trying to lop one up.
No, you don't need to.
I'll pull a muscle like that.
You play the 6th graders?
Yeah, that's right.
Do they ever win any years?
They won like the last several years.
And like you're really trying, or is there some kind of like, come on, let's let these kids win?
Judging by the pickup practice today, I think we'll be really trying because one of my friends was like yelling aggressively on defense, and like, yeah, everybody really wants to win it. The 6th graders think it's in the bag.
Oof.
So we need to show them that there's, they
ain't shit.
that the middle-aged folk have some things going on too. It's just not all about the glory of youth here, okay?
Mm-hmm. That's right. The cast of Seinfeld has a shot.
I remember a few years ago at the same school I'm working at, we have like a field day at the end of the year, like all school play day. And we do another athletic game. It's like a kickball game, 6th grade class versus teachers and faculty. And we won that. And I just remember like, when would that even be? That would be June. And the next May, during our annual fundraiser, I was listening to one of the dads like complain about how we beat the kids that year, and it was like off of a bad call or something, like still bringing it up, and I was laughing so much. So it does matter. People care.
Like the parents would maybe be upset if you guys like kick their ass.
Pulverized them. Yeah.
Right? They might.
They probably would, I'm sure. Some people would.
More tea?
Oh. Your limbs don't just
I think I'm just holding this thing up.
like that. Oh, do you think it would be fun to do these little shows with a drawing back and forth activity, or is that just makes the conversation stop?
I mean, let's try it. You want to do it right now?
I guess I thought of it. Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah. What have we got to lose?
I'll get some supplies.
Okay. I'll be here. So we have this amazing book that our friend Jillian gave us. Like every page of it it's like handmade paper, right? Or like, so it's just like everything's really thick and fluffy, and over time we're gonna fill every page. So, how do you want to do this? Just draw while we talk, or is there a prompt?
Ooh, that's fun. I think maybe should we do the pass back and forth round wise?
Passer backer.
Yeah.
Rounder
Just
tounder.
a little, but don't forget we got to talk. This is only interesting to some degree if you're watching, not listening. But yeah, I'd say that's what's exciting for me. Upcoming hoops game. I did almost kind of blow out a ankle. It was not even the ankle. It was like actually the top of my foot. And I don't know. I did something weird. Doesn't seem to hurt now. But it was weird. It wasn't natural.
I guess I have some news. I'm competing in a mini triathlon in June.
Yeah.
So I've been like training. I'm back to like running. Because running, like I really messed up my knee running at one point, and it made me kind of scared to run ever since.
Yeah, that's
so
how
now
I've been.
I've been like really easing in the triathlon. It's a mini triathlon. It's like a 5K run and like 400 meters in a pool, or 400 meters swimming. But that's like 4 football fields, right? A meter is like 3 yards. So that's a far swim.
Yeah. It's a big one.
But anyway, I've just been like slowly like going on walks. Like I think come May 1st, I'll try to like run a whole mile. But for now, like I don't even want to do that because I don't want to get hurt like right out the gate already.
I mean, I think the important part, or at least the reason why I got so injured, was because I never took any of the cross training seriously. So like you have to just take the time to stretch and like have off days. Also have days where you're focusing on gaining strength and not running. Like you have to really cross train to support everything. Mm-hmm. I just never did that. I just liked the running part.
Yeah, maybe I definitely could stretch more, but I've been doing pretty good. Like I go to the gym and I do a little bit of stuff. But
yeah, I mean, either way, I feel like you can't ever get fully prepared. Like it's just going to kick your ass, you know?
Well, I can get pretty prepared. I mean,
you can get prepared, but
what if I'm running
still gonna
20 miles a day, you know? That'd be prepared.
That'd be well prepared.
That would be well prepared.
You'd be really
I don't think I'll be there, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard. I think
there's also when I was training, because of my original intention when I started running like a mad woman was to do the Indy half marathon, because I was living in Indianapolis. The marathon's like a big deal there every year. And I was like, no, that's insane. I'll do the half. And I was in a pretty good place. I was running like all along the Monon, the running trails out there. I loved it. I could run like for hours. I would go out on a Saturday and run like 8 miles.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And then it just became like to the point where my knee was so inflamed that I couldn't really walk after I would do that. So that had to stop.
You never ran the half marathon?
Never ran the half marathon. Trained myself right out of it. And but at that time, I remember there was a lot of like couch to marathon or couch to half marathon workout guides and stuff that you could do, and it would give you like the time or the mileage increase that you should do. Basically taking into consideration like the end date of your marathon. And
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing it, like slowly, you know. I don't have I didn't look up a thing or anything, but I figure if I'm doing it slowly, if I can run 1 mile a month and a half before the triathlon, mini triathlon. I wish there was an easier word for it, because I don't want to say triathlon. It's not a triathlon. It's like, I don't even know if it's half of one. I'm going to look up how long a typical triathlon is. But yeah, I figure I'll be there. And in the meantime, I'll
be there.
Moving the body, you know? Let's see, ChatGPT.
Wow,
how long is a typical triathlon? Because this one we're doing is like running 3.1 miles, biking I think like 20 miles.
Running 3?
Running 3.
Biking 20.
Or 20K. Okay,
so like 15 miles?
So here's what a triathlon is. Oh, okay. Sprint triathlon is the shorter one. So this is the one I'm doing. 20K bike, 5K run. Ooh, they say 750 meter swim, but we're only doing 400. So we're doing like less than a sprint triathlon. The Olympic triathlon, also known as standard, is 1.5K swim. That's over a mile, I think. 40K bike ride, 10K run. Wow. And then the Ironman triathlon is 3.8K swim, 180 kilometer bike ride, and then you run a marathon.
No, thank you.
Whoa.
Yeah,
that's wild.
That sounds too intense for me. It is cool. I'm less interested in marathon like that. Where I wish I had that kind of stamina would be like to do a nature trek, you know? Like our buddy, we still haven't had our friend Joe Pagic on. We got to get this guest. But he and his wife actually, Lenka?
I think so. We just met her once. Okay.
Abort.
We don't have to get everyone's name perfect. We only met her one time.
We did
She's lovely.
Yeah, so nice. Anyways, they met on the trail and they just left again, got dropped off in New Mexico, and will end up in Canada.
Well, so these are these huge trails. So they met on the Pacific Coast Trail, which is like a 6-month hike that people do.
Insane.
Like from Southern California to Canada, I think, right?
Yeah. And now they're doing it from New Mexico to Canada. I think, what is that? The Continental Divide Trail or something.
Something like that.
I believe is what it is. But anyways, it's just so impressive. And I had another friend, Katie, who hiked like the whole length of Colorado. It just is cool to have, I mean, also painful and brutal at times, but so striking, and just like you never forget something like that, where I feel like the marathon, you're just kind of pushing through to get through, you know? It doesn't feel as pleasurable to me.
Well, for me, it's actually, I like that it's something really difficult that I'm training for. Like, you know, like I said, I've been really honing in on like my own productivity and how I like can get more done. And I've learned deadlines are really good for me. You know, like I think it all started last year when you were like, "Hey, can you finish that music video for my birthday?" Like, and I was like, "Okay." And it had been like a year we didn't touch this music video, and then you said that, and I was like, "All right." And so then you're ready to pass it back.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not ready yet.
Oh.
And then I did it. So I've been really trying to use deadlines a lot. And like with working out, like, all right, yeah, I work out a little bit, you know, a few days a week. But now I'm running a marathon June 15th, or not a marathon, little mini triathlon thing.
Mini marathon.
So I gotta be ready, you know, and it's like, even if I come in last place, even if I don't finish, like it's a victory in itself, just that it's forcing me to be more active and like get back to running. I mean, I was afraid to run for the past like 2 years because of
gonna be afraid to run again
because my knee. So if I can
you're gonna be great.
If I can get my knee through this, like get enough of the cross training, leg muscles, butt muscles, to not hurt my knee ever again. I mean, that is gonna be sick.
So a gift. Yeah, I think that's why people do these painful excursions in the first place, is to prove that their minds are tougher than their bodies are, you know? And it's like, that's the lesson, I think, because there's so many injuries and pains that happen along the way, whether you get hurt or not. You can't do that level of activity without feeling the burn, you know?
Right. So it's got me thinking, like, what other deadlines should I be setting for myself? You know? Like, I don't know. I don't know what they would be. But, like, I thought about, like, scheduling, like, a shirtless photo shoot 6 months from today. And I'm going to do it. It's going to be public. I'm going to do, like, and, like, just try to look as good as I can. You know, because it's, like, I've always felt like I'm out of shape, but, like, I could get in shape for a role. You know, if the right role came along, if suddenly I was hired to be in a Marvel movie, then I'd be going to the gym all the time, you know? And I wouldn't really fret about it. I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to the gym. I'm in a Marvel movie. Like, so I'm going to get in shape for this role.
Or like, you know, you work with highly trained professional trainers and you have like a dietitian and then they get you ready for the role. Like, I feel like that's an unhealthy goal to like think you like want to get Marvel ready. I don't know that you need to be Marvel ready to be successful, but I hear your tenacity.
But the point is, it's all about the attitude.
Yeah.
If someone told me,
got a bad one.
If someone told me, hey, in 6 months we're filming this movie.
Yeah.
You're Spider-Man. We'd love you. You need abs. You need pecs. You need good muscles. You need to be able to run and move good. You have 6 months. I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's super motivating.
I would do it. I would go to the gym every day. I'd be so stoked. I'd wake up every morning. I'd be like, yeah. And I would get in shape for that role.
Yeah, I felt the same way by joining a soccer team. And be like, we have a game every Sunday and I don't want to be huffing and like unable to breathe. So I'm going to go run like 2 more times this week so I can feel good on Sunday. You know?
There you go. You create that necessity. When you have to do something, you do it. Yeah. So I can give myself a role.
Yeah, I
I
think
can give
you like
myself a photo shoot on the books, or I mean, that's dumb. Maybe not a photo shoot, but I could even publicly announce, hey, in 6 months, I'm going to take a photo of myself and I'm going to look really good. Like, and I have 6 months to do it. And here we go. You know, and like, I bet I would have a rockin' six pack
Wow.
in 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to fight you.
If I put that pressure on myself that I had to do it, I'd even be kind of excited about it. It's like Rob McElhaney. You know,
You're all about just like manipulating your own mind right now. I feel like
100%.
We've entered a new era in our relationship because of where you are personally. And it is like,
well, let's talk about that. You're saying it like that's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. You are on I told you this the other day as a compliment. A next level. You've next leveled.
I'm next level.
Leveled up.
I'm leveling up. Hey, look at me, everybody. I'm leveling up.
I appreciate that, you know? I think, as with anything, I'm always trying to be like, balance, 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 you know? It's all about balance. Like,
yeah, you're
do
great.
I think it's a bad goal to say I want a amazing six pack? No, sure, that's a great, why not? Sure. But
True.
Do I think it's really like, you know, worth, I don't know. I think everything has an opportunity cost. So, you know, while you're out there training your abs to look good and be strong, like what else could you be doing? What could you be working on? You know, it's just, is that really what's the most important thing to you to like, how much time does it take? Like, what's the, you know, for me, it's not that high up on my, like I want to care about health, you know, but
I could even do a half hour a day of abs would get me there. I'm not saying 8 hours a day in the gym.
Great.
It's like one less episode of Seinfeld a day. You know, like that's what I'm trading in is like watching TV.
But you watch that show with me and it is like sacred time.
Yeah. Because
that's what we were raised on and that's when we eat dinner, right?
Yes.
So that's the point. So you could cut in 30 minutes to our time to make sure. I'm just using that as a point. You could have said I was doing, you know, I cut off 30 minutes of whatever and I'd still say the same thing.
Uh-oh.
But, you know, there's just something. It's always something.
But do you feel like this new me, we've lost any time together?
No.
We spent so much time together.
No, I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that at all.
So there's no, I'm not trading off any, I'm not getting rid of anything.
I'm simply.
There's nothing else I should be doing other than
I am
exercise.
just noticing, like in this new year, you have read like so many self-help novels.
Correct.
Not novels.
Books.
You've been on this like self-improvement saga, you know?
Yeah.
It's epic.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But I just also want to make sure, you know, you don't beat yourself up too much. Like being human is not only about routines that get you abs. It's about being able to enjoy a moment relaxing on the couch. It's about the give and take, you know? That's all I'm saying.
I agree. And I always appreciate about you that you help me with these things, keep me grounded. And I haven't just been reading self-help books and working out and being I'm doing therapy. I've been in hypnotherapy even.
But this is what I mean. You've been on a journey.
The hypnotherapy, but the hypnotherapy is actually helps me just feel better about myself, you know, like in the moment, like, yeah, I deserve, you know, like I wasn't smoking weed at all. And then I gave myself a little bit of room to like, dude, it's late. It's 11 o'clock at night. You're going to be awake for 3 more hours. Like, smoke some weed and fuck with music. Like, what's the big deal? Mm-hmm. And like, I think the hypnotherapy really helped me give myself that like grace, you know?
Yeah, I think that's important.
But yeah, I haven't been on this journey of like trying to hack my own
you're like
brain.
biohacking yourself.
Biohacking, which is great. You say it like it's a bad thing.
No, I don't mean it as a bad thing. I really don't. I mean,
you're worried that I would make this commitment of the abs. Let's just use that as an example. I'd get to 6 months. I wouldn't have accomplished my goal. I wouldn't have the abs that I want. And then I would beat myself up and I'd feel like a loser.
No, I just, you know, why the abs, you know?
It was just an example, but well, I would love to have
Because the abs
rip-in
to
abs.
me is like more of like you're feeding your ego. Like if you had said, I really want to be in my tip top peak physical shape, I don't think I would have any qualms. But to latch onto a physical attribute that you feel like you don't have, and then to say, it's just setting yourself up into this overall dynamic of like, I'm not good enough the way I am now, and I have to have this, I have to be this. And I think your body deserves to be the way it is. And you should, seek your level of physical strength that you desire, but not with a like visual motivation guiding you. So well, that would be my, like, why the abs, you know?
So a couple of things here. Number one, picking something quantifiable like the abs is just kind of a metric. If I go to the gym so much that I have rockin' abs and I look super cut, like that means I've gone to the gym like maybe 5 days a week for 6 months. So I've exercised consistently. I've built muscle in my core, in my body. I'm now a healthier person. So to set the quantifiable superficial goal, it's like my goal of an EGOT. I want an EGOT. I want an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. I don't care that much about those awards, but if I get an Emmy, that means I made a TV show, people watched the TV show, like, and there was, like, people saw it. Like, it would be an undeniable fact at that point. Like, I've done something, I've made an impact, and that's, you know. So it's not the award, the ego tickle that I care about, really. It's like, but this is a great, if I get there.
I've done something, though. I've done something.
Correct.
Like, you don't have to prove that you're worthy to be alive.
I don't feel that way. So that's the other thing I want to say. Saying that I would like to improve myself is not self-hate. It's self-love. Saying that, wow, I could be smarter, I could be stronger, I could be faster, I could be nicer, I could accomplish more, I could be more successful, is not self-loathing or self-hate or me being mean to myself by saying like, oh man, wow, you would look way better with a ripping six-pack, you know, like I would, you know, and it's like, you deserve that, Paul. Like that's like self-love. Like, dude, you deserve to, you
Can be.
You deserve to have a six-pack and look great. And it's not that I hate myself. I don't look at myself in the mirror and go like,
what happens when you accidentally skip the gym and then you don't make it there that day? Then how do you feel?
You forgive yourself.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, then great.
100%. This is
Great.
And like the hypnotherapy has helped me even more like accept that, you know?
Like you said, like a little, I don't smoke weed right now. But like every once in a while, I do.
Yeah, so this was
You
like
know,
a thing we
make it-
talked about in my last therapy appointment, which was like this asterisk concept where it's like you identify as like,
Sober, for example.
yeah, identify as an absolute. So like I am sober or I'm a vegetarian. Hi, I'm a vegetarian. Nice to meet you. But if someone pulled out a plate of like insanely good meat and we're in Argentina and they just grilled it and we're like by the beach, a vegetarian might say, I'll have some. So they're still a vegetarian, but they're also allowing themselves to have some meat sometimes. So I keep in my head, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I go to the gym every day, I read books every day, blah, blah, blah. This is what I tell myself about myself. But some days I don't. Mm-hmm. Some days I have a sip of whiskey. Some days I smoke weed. Some days I don't make it to the gym. But like still my identity is that I go to the gym every day. And it just helps me kind of stay on track. And it's like, I'm a good guy. I tell myself this, and it's true. I'm a good guy. Sometimes I lie. Sometimes I'm selfish. Sometimes I do the wrong thing. Sometimes I say something mean, make someone feel bad. But like, I'm a good guy. You know, like that still is the truth. You know, it's like, I don't drink. Sometimes I do. I'm a good guy. Sometimes I'm not nice. So anyway, my point is, I set these goals and maybe I don't accomplish them, and that's fine. Like, it's the pursuit of something challenging that I am enjoying. And failing at these things, I still am better off that I've tried to do them than I would be succeeding at not doing them. Are we gonna fight?
No, I'm just debating in my head how deep I want to go into this right now. As I think the face I was making.
Well, we can change the subject. But yeah, I've been liking it. I've been enjoying it. I feel better about my life, myself. I'm happy doing these things, like trying to always be better and improve. It makes me happy.
It's great.
Thanks. Thank you. Say so.
Well, great.
Good for you. Hey, that's 45 minutes.
Hey,
We did it.
yeah.
Let's shut this thing down. This one I like better than that one.
Oh, I like this one better.
Funny. Cool. Well, anyway,
How about that?
fun drawing. Thank you everybody for listening. Do you have any final thoughts or any closing words?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess what are my final thoughts on I will say something. I feel like we got to wrap up. It didn't feel done.
I'm going to give you the last word.
Pass it to me. I don't know. What could I say that I haven't said a million times on here? I think that if I'm going to be completely vulnerable, maybe I don't know. Maybe I come at you hard on this subject all the time. Maybe I'm worried that if I'm out here not trying to be the best version of myself, that you'll be like, oh, that's lame of her. So maybe that's part of why I push back. But I don't mean to be like ever in your way. I hope you don't feel that way. Never try to do that. I just always try to make sure that you're like balanced and happy, is my true intention, and that's it.
Can I get a final word, actually?
Yeah.
Well, I would never think that.
Are you
that,
sure?
Here
Because
she
you're
is
going to be
not
like
reading these
Paul
books.
17.0, and I'm just going to be reading my like crime novel, not trying to get better over there. And then what?
I love you just the way you are. And we're all here on this planet just doing what we feel like doing.
Excellent.
This is what
Okay.
I feel like doing. That's it. I'm not better than anybody. Like, I like this. This is what I like doing. This is what I do.
Nerd. I'm just kidding. I just have to get out from the emotionally vulnerable spot with some humor.
No, I've thought, so I've had the thought, like, I hope Christine doesn't feel like I expect this of her, of other
leaving me
people.
in the dust.
Like, but no, I'm not.
And it is a little uncomfortable because I have been in relationships like that, right? Where you like feel like your partner's always trying to change you and like get you to be a better or different version, or like somebody that you're not. I've definitely been in relationships where I felt like I could relate to that. And yeah, so maybe I'm a little like stubborn about that too, But I think intrinsic motivation is not always an easy thing to come by. And if you're feeling genuinely motivated to tackle getting a six-pack, you go. You go, Paul. Cool.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. I feel like this was actually like a breakthrough.
Do you think?
Wasn't that?
Personally?
For both of us, you don't think so?
No,
you've never told me that stuff, really.
I've tried. I think I've somewhat told you that. Have I not?
Not that it like would make you feel lesser or like that there's any concern on your end. It's always just been like, you're going to the gym. It's fucking midnight, you psycho.
You do weird things, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just ridiculous. Like last night, lying in bed, you're like so tired, your eyes are closed, you're like cuddling with me, I'm about ready to pass out, You're like, I'm so comfortable right now. And then the next thing you know, you spring up and you're like, okay, go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm out.
And I was like, what's
"What?"
weird? What's weird? What's weird about springing up from bed at
What?
midnight and go to the gym?
It was like 10:30, but still,
Yeah. It was 10:30 maybe.
man. But 10:30 is my bedtime. Like,
Sure.
you know.
I'm weird. I'm not saying I'm not weird.
Well, I'm weird too.
Yeah, we're weird.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm glad it was a breakthrough. I didn't mean to not tell you that sooner, but
all good.
what better time and place than in front of a bunch of invisible listeners? Okay.
All right. I love you.
Love you too.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Inside.